Hey, Randy Joe here, and welcome back to the channel where, if you've been following, we have been listening to a lot of new albums this year. And of course, in that vein, I thought we would check out another highly anticipated album, an album I have been waiting for some time. That, of course, is the newly released clipping LP, Dead Channel Sky. And before we get into the album today, if you're interested in a fully unedited reaction of this album, no cuts whatsoever, go ahead and check the comment section down below or the description where I have my Patreon. It's $5 per month for the unedited video, as well as all my other reactions and my content. So if you're interested in that, please go ahead and check out the Patreon. But otherwise, this will be, like as always, a cut up video. So go ahead and check that out if you care to. And I just want to say before we get into it, this is quite a positive reaction. So if you like this album and you want a full unedited reaction, it's on the Patreon. Now, personally, I am a big fan of clipping, especially their last two LPs, those being There Existed an Addiction to Blood, as well as Visions of Bodies Being Burned. However, I am more impartial to There Existed an Addiction to Blood, but those two horrorcore rap experimental LPs are greatly interesting and unique sort of concept records that I feel like are truly one of a kind and well worth a listen, especially in the kind of Halloween season. And Dead Channel Sky sees them, it seemed to be them kind of taking some of the horror influence and going into a new kind of vein, and that is a much more dance kind of EDM house, techno route. So I'm very interested in hearing what they have to offer. I have heard the teaser track here, Run It, which I thought was quite a strong track, but I thought, I haven't listened to it in a while. I haven't checked out Run It too much beyond, I think, 1 or 2 listens, and I didn't listen to the other singles from this LP because I knew I would check it out regardless. So let's get into it with the first track here, Intro. Of course, just a quick 50 seconds. If you're unfamiliar with clipping, they are an experimental trio where I believe 2 of the musicians here handle production, and the main vocalist, MC, rapper is, of course, Mr. Daveed Diggs, most notable for his contributions to the Hamilton soundtrack, as well as a wonderful actor in his own right. Let's get into it, and let's go. Intro.
Damn kids there all alike, okay. Maybe they right, okay, but this shit is getting right today. All it costs is your life, okay, just wait. Just wait. Just wait till it's on. Ain't nobody about it, but the barrier's barely a song. Ain't no doubt about it, once you win capacity for sinning's infinite, isn't it? When it's spinning on a discord is dissonant, skipping bits a kilobyte to eat a killer might compete up in the right arena. Net is like a streak and that is still
right off the bat, showing off his production, not his production, his rapping, I should say, along with a weird production, which is that of an old dial-up internet beat. Not even a beat, just
on a discord is dissonant, skipping bits a kilobyte to eat a killer might compete up in the right arena. Net is like a streak and that is still
that old dial-up.
Tapping to navigate.
Right off the bat. Let's get into a Dominator. Great, almost a cappella like open.
Had to make out a body the status quo. Avatar opportunity is creating the capital.
Very fast flows of his.
More valuable when they thinking they ugly and acting fat in a fashion. Kill yourself. Blue blocker chucks in the glowing screen. Blue baby bottles and soda stream.
If it didn't have the edginess of the production and the roughness and the just kind of well calculated measure of it all, I do fear he would fall into your typical fast rapper sort of trend. But he's got a great blend here.
More pixel equal a brighter dream.
That works with it. I love the backing lines as well. Ooh.
Cool enough to rock the metal skin like it was natural. Matter of fact, come on and touch it. Might be what you actually want. A waste of energy debating the mechanical for genitals when gender is so easily programmable. You know that. Beating it.
He's getting into trans rights. Hell yeah, Daveed Diggs.
Cameras are tracking your every move. So give them something that they can use. Believed in this moment that your fingertips is everything you need in a world full of feeling for your impulses to feed. Long as you agree that.
Oh, this beat. Oh my goodness. Oh, I love that escalation and de-escalation. Love that synth as well. Oh. This is a beautiful opening track. Also, his rapping, impeccable as ever. Very theatrical, I would say his rapping typically is. It's got that theater kid energy, but I'm for it.
Or elite, you let your passion drip down on the floor. Are you sure? You need to be there, keeping score. 1-0 is all you need to overload. Crack the code, open the sequence, take it slow, so you know.
Such smooth entendres. Like right into the pocket. Dominator, wow, incredible opening track. Obviously not counting the intro here. Incredible though, high energy, great flows. Perfect. I loved the synth work as well that came into the back end. Let's go into Change the Channel, a single off this that I do. I don't think I listened to it. I don't think I checked it out. Very high energy, high octane. Let's keep going. Oh. Kind of robotic delivery. Love the percussion. Super like rattly. Oh, I love that cutoff. Super danceable. Oh. These, the funky synths as well, just kind of launching up and down those crescendos and whatnot. They super funky. I love it. Also, I've got to say, I want to say this is definitely more geared towards like nerds into rap, but I love it. I'm for it. It's still fantastic. Give up the fight because they say an place he would spit if he could, but he can't. The tongue is dry as a bitch. Hung out to dry in this bitch. Counting the time, it don't matter. He'll probably die and he could cry. Very sci-fi in its elements. By the way, did you remember then to pull the cable out? Fuck. And I love this chorus. Very bouncy in its energy. Incredible. Wow, change the channel. Wow. What a high octane, maybe the fastest pace I've ever heard any of their beats go. That's great. Let's go and run it. Get the work and put it in the pot. Mix the motherfucker till it rock. Roll it till it fit into the needle, then you stick it in the love his hood and watch him run it. Double backing vocals, always a treat. Please mind the gap behind the black sheets, fine sprinkles of sanity for the gums, vanity for the tongue, canopy for the cum. Damn it, wanna be dumb. Skin is itching, you sitting bitch in the backseat to the switch. This kind of reminds me of his rapping abilities. Kind of remind me of what Eminem was going for in the 2010s onwards, with very kind of choppy, weird, stilted flow that he typically goes for. But Daveed Diggs, I think, actually does it to a much better extent. It's much more polished. He delivers on it with a much cleaner flow. Essentially, what I'm saying is he is kind of topping Eminem in his own game to an extent, at least modern day Eminem. I'm saying, but that's how to me it feels. As a fan of Eminem, keep in mind, I say this. A minute by yourself. When it's needles on the bottom of your feet, you know the shit that made it down into the blood and you could run it. And still keeping in some level of horror elements, I would say. There's a tension in the air. Got a Jones, got an itchy trigger finger, gotta go, Pablo got. Love this funky synth. It's like it's on the prowl. Very sci-fi, incredibly sci-fi, this track. Oh. Love that breakdown there. Very drug-fueled track, specifically. Feels like we're in the seedy underground. Very much a club banger. Love these odysseys, these journeys we're going on, these tracks. Really lets the instrumental grow. Love that one. Wow. Fully fledged 5 minutes. It felt even quicker given the fast pace of the beat. Let's get into Go, which is only 1 minute and 14. Some real short tracks on this LP. There's like some sort of segue. Oh. Very alien, very sci-fi, like I've been saying.
Run it down, run it, cable, underground, run it, drink it, breathe it in, run it, sink into
running it back to that previous track.
On the map and just to step into them is to have the revelation that there's something more than what is getting through the user channels. Usually colors undefined. Never leave it, run it, love it, drink it, breathe it, break it, never leave it.
Oh. Love the charisma, love the fun that you can tell the V-Digs has on these tracks. Also production, like I've been saying, smooth, crisp, beautiful, but also very cold and disturbed. Here's Simple Degradation. Plucks 1 to 13 with Bit Panic, who I'm unfamiliar with. An instrumental. I love that it's a feature, and it's just production only. Feels like a very like tortured Matmos track, like possibly sample heavy in its distortion. That one's very just a nice palette cleanser from David, where we just get some nice, well, choppy, weird, distorted instrumental. Here's Code.
Now,
we are going.
Flash forward 200 years into the future.
We're really going futuristic.
Fresh new skin for the avatar. Just plugged into the boulevard. Booted up, suited, baby, use a star. Blew a few amps through it to the car. No new.
Is this perhaps a like a meta sort of joke? Perhaps we're commenting on the metaverse, I guess, the VR verse.
But the crew can mob. The ice blue tennis shoe make a ooh and ah. The too smooth attitude with the coolest mods. They lose screws in the groups for the fuselage. Slide through, ride smooth like a nude massage. Your mind lose truth is a beautiful mirage. Find clues, might lose all the
love.
Decides. You better keep it fine tuned to the rules involved.
Love all the syllabic, multi-syllabic rhyme schemes at play here.
Leg tools, that's the move till you use them all. No kung fu, you can matrix through the walls. That shit true, but the new hack is screwed.
One of those videos where it highlights each syllable.
Ooh-wee. Finna make the news with the level up C. Settle a lot of dues and get metal up. 9 on them, turn 12. When she want that shit, you deify. Get you realigned. Raise a girl out there looking fine. Jack off when you find. Jack and then she cut you every time.
His voice here, very personality driven, like the way he's that accent he's putting on.
Turn 12 when she want that shit, you deify. Get you realigned. Raise a girl out there looking fine. Jack off when you find. Jack and then she cut you every time. Stutter when you talk that code. Away. Keep it on the loose street. And mom shake these. Honey, baby, drop that code on G. All up in a PC, friend, don't mean nothing unless you talk that code. Don't speak.
Even this like gritted teeth deliveries. Nice change of pace. Very rough, kind of giving into the, again, disturbed atmosphere of the LP. Also, very, again, very futuristic. A lot of this LP is very sci-fi. This one, the track being Code, dealing with avatars and the likes of hacking. A very, again, futuristic track indeed. Love it. Here's Dodger. Right off the bat with some distortion. Quite a wonky distortion.
Anything depending on the stable internet is gonna crash. Debatable what happens after that, it doesn't matter really. All you gotta know is that it's bad. So she brings the alarm. Please be on guard, though these things are often harmless. No need to be alarming. But
jeez, this is his flow, his speed here. I think this is the quickest we've ever heard him.
Unexplainable anomaly. If money's unavailable, inevitably anything depending on the stable internet is gonna crash. Debatable what happens after that, it doesn't matter really. All
quite a tongue twister.
So she brings the alarm. Please won't connect. Evil things be offline. Again, things will be fine.
Ooh. Is that the Amen break, perhaps? I don't think so, but could have been. What is that? Oh my goodness. That sounded like a sample there, but there's so much going on here. I love this track. I really love this track. I think it's one of the strongest tracks. Oh my god. So diverse. Oh yeah, that's gotta be the Amen break there. Has to be. Quick. That sounds familiar. That part there. It's gotta be a sample. Love the stripped back delivery and that rise. Very revolutionary call to action sort of track. This is the best track. This is the best track yet. And where are we rising to here? Stripping it back.
See how he run, see how he run, see how he never would pick up a gun, see how he jumped like it was nothing on the earth to hold him down. Gotta admit that looked like fun. It looked like fun.
It's about
the fuck is fun when the war ain't done. If the war ain't done, then the war ain't
cowarding out,
hold all the pillars of the federated something some.
Not standing up.
The song that used to hum in school with the rules and the reasons do all the things you do in the name of the thing. What the fuck is the shit they sang? When this man elevates and it makes it seem insane. Asinine, even assassinate him for what? Justify treason to capture this feeling has to be love. It's dust on the heart, gotta get the rust off. It's a muscle you must jumpstart. It's been a minute, isn't it? A little bit bitter to be intimate with the enemy anyway. It is better to cut, that'll make you a dodger too. True, but if it's really what you gotta do, you just admit it's a better ending to end up defending the very enemy you meant to subdue.
What a ethereal, ascending to the heavens sort of ending that was. Dodger, easily the most diverse track here. Incredibly, still very futuristic. That tempo, high energy, high octane, like I've been saying. But I loved that ethereal outro. I loved that bridge that we got where it was more isolated in his vocals. That might be the best track here, and also one of the best clipping tracks I've heard on a first listen, at least. Just blew me away. Impressive, very impressive. I'm shocked they could still impress so much this deep, this far into their catalog. But here's, was it Malleus? Is that how it's pronounced? Track 9. Let's get into it. 1:56. Another shorter one. Oh, there's that previous percussion sample. I love the atmosphere they're building with these. This one's very... I feel like we're in the streets with it. Very, you know, underground. A very cyberpunk album. Very abstract. I love this one specifically for the world building. Wow. A nice, again, world building element to this track at the midpoint of the LP. Here's Scams featuring Tia Namor. Ooh. I like this metallic opening. Oh. Can you speak up, David? Thank you.
And they love it every time she float by. See him grinning cause the streets stay rocking to the black baby mother better cuff her this the time she go by. There she go. Heat keep knocking out the power. People making hand fans while they cursing at the sky till they see it coming. TV watches turning off they
this one catchy and
air just to come out.
Bit of a club banger.
Get it right. She beat bossy with on the dashboard. Yeah, she paid cash for it. Miss her with the crypto or old school Mac. Get it right. Beat stay knocking in the back. Waking up the drones, turning on the cams. There she go. Beat stay knocking in the back, fucking up the homes.
Love how
in the scams. Get it right. Beat stay knocking in the back. She don't give a fuck. Money in the hand.
Very stripped back, but also has kind of like DNA of like a 2000s sort of club track. Remind me of the track Tipsy specifically, which is funny because Clipping actually did a cover of that track, did a great cover of the track Tipsy, which I'm a fan of both the original and their cover. So I wonder how much that carried over into this kind of DNA of a 2000s club hit.
There she go. Beat stay knocking in the back. You gon' tell
kind of more in so the delivery.
Champagne champ on a mission for the wallet.
Definitely in the flow of it all. I love it. It's like a 2000s club banger, but futuristic.
There she go. She got plenty enemies. Wanna be the G, thinking they go squeeze. Motherfucker.
Even that ad-lib of the backing. Very 2000s.
Get it right. Beat stay knocking in the back. She don't give a fuck. Money in the hand. There she go. Beat stay knocking in the back.
Oh, here's Tia teasing. Oh, here we go.
I'm out here looking like a fucking candy store. You shit me? Bitch, this ain't no Billie Jean. I had to tell him to beat it. They telling me explicit things, got appetite for the whoa.
Smooth Michael Jackson lines.
I just scored for the motherfucking low. I know that's right. I hit the hammer best. And this bitch like Arabesque. You cannot finesse down the amount of stress.
She's Japanese. I didn't even catch that. Incredible vocalist and performer she is so far. Certainly matches the energy.
Beat stay knocking in the back. You gon' tell her turn it down.
Another great one, like I've been saying. Nothing negative to say about Scams. I said everything I really had to say. Just a really great kind of stripped back club sort of banger to it. Wow, Keep Pushing is this one. No complaints on this LP so far, absolutely none.
Yeah. Them wanna be sick, them bitches Munchausen, so let it whip. Living at the top of the syndrome, placebo, get you repoed.
Love that Munchausen line too, very clever wordplay.
And making money off of the impulse, they nothing but however hard it's been, get up and push again.
Love this more soft spoken delivery he does in the chorus here. Also, another track about, it would seem, slinging drugs. And again, very cyberpunk influence, very futuristic, dystopian sort of future to it.
When it all went numb, they all followed suit. The
Yeah.
juice was too dumb. It's all up to you, young blood. They knew none.
Continuing on the
About what you do, the truth is you
drug
can't
use
be
theme.
One of them ones. History is making a dash today, only the next plug with enough cash to buy him out of the business.
Also talking about
And everywhere you go,
like pimping.
just keep on pushing.
Again, we're in the grimy underbelly of the futuristic dystopian
However hard it's been,
crime world.
get up and push again. You put grills in, show them teeth, then shoot up they buildings. That's what it do. Living at
Ooh.
the end of the sentence, you run on
Oh,
with the colors
oh.
and they won't even mention the Polican for quotes to send me an intervention.
Bit of a
It's
low-
like the cone
lo-fi,
keep
low
the code
budget.
going to perfection. Break the law, well the work gotta stretch then. Ain't got
Love that kind of throwback primal element to it.
to soft, give the work an erection. Then gotta get it off or end up in correction. Get it to every jerk in the section. And everywhere you go,
A lot of sexual entendres there.
pushing dough.
This one's great. I like these string sections we've been getting. They're great contrasts and mirrors to the heaviness of the techno synth work. Very strong parallel or contrast, I should say. Here is From Bright Bodies, an interlude, only 40 seconds. Perhaps another world building track, which I've really admired so far.
From bright bodies taken up sail, they would rise. We would shape.
Let's go right into mood organ. You're right into mood organ here.
Shh, plasma wall lit.
A minute and 40.
He ain't really up yet. Wash his mouth with the whiskey. The same glass he set on the nightstand for the night before. Only had to take one. Don't know where the bitch went. She was just wait. No, that was a week ago. Grab his gun with his underwear on the floor. Why is that while still thinking? Leave him alone. She already know it's another skin and bone doing something unspeakable. He ain't speaking, okay? Move the squeaky pants out the way and count up what he saved. Like 75. Almost enough to grab his bottle and walk away, but not today.
It's like we're getting multiple characters here. It would seem all at once. A lot going on.
Shh, he coming, just let him put on my shirt, Jesus Christ. The hum of the neon expressive, they can't get from sleeping nights. Thumbing through paper bags just to remember the feeling, okay. The lift at the call and ask that they ignore the wire plugged in the ceiling, the plaster is peeling away.
Is this like some sort of sting operation? I don't know. Something weird going on.
Maybe it's welcome. Pocket full of upfront.
Very minimal.
Challenger to live, they never do. But that mean it's overdue for that chip to come in, so let it ride. Don't let him die, don't
Very minimal beat we're getting here.
let it die, don't let it die. Oh, he dead.
Classic reference if you're unfamiliar, throwing it back to the LP There Existed an Addiction to Blood, where they say, where he says, "Oh, he dead" multiple times on one of the tracks. I think the title of the track is that actually.
Son of a bitch didn't
But-
keep his guard up and they tow him up limb from limb. Even the bangers are melancholy. Get going, old man, cause you broken your work is important. Shut up, you ain't fooling nobody.
Really liked mood organ. Short, quick, direct, minimal, but wasn't necessarily my favorite. I feel like it might take more to appreciate. Here's Polaroids.
Hands on the casket, hand full of soil. Hand a rose to the widow. She lays it tastefully angled down and to the right. The mahogany and the white contrast nicely, as well as the black tie attire. The air of this event, somebody was important, but a distant stare proves too strong to ignore it. Little window on the ground floor of the chapel and a face pressed up against it make fog breath. Highlights of fading heart. Raindrops on the hood of the El Dorado, her acrylics clicking on the
sort of
headlight,
funeral,
her bubblegum
perhaps?
pop in her head slightly angled, down and to the right, and her angel pendant dangling like a lynched bird, space for her last prayer paint.
This dude's just telling us a story here, like incredible storytelling and very descriptive. Her angel pendant dangling like a lynched bird, space for last prayer, pain like a pinched nerve.
Like a pinched nerve, awaiting a last word, posture reading last straw. Tempered stance of her partner is palpable, even out of the frame, and without her naming his crime, he must be prostrate like a last prayer, awaiting a last word. Posture as the backside of the picture dated 1929. All of these photos tucked neatly in a box and hidden in a sock drawer underneath the bed.
Oh my
Memories
goodness.
are gobos making shadows on the locked present.
This
that has
crushing
been fixed,
pre-chorus.
So it's best to leave them dead. Don't bother with it, live lobotomy. Split the bottle better, drink the God and leave the past behind for the fire. Don't nobody want these Polaroids. They want these Polaroids.
Great, catchy chorus. What is this track about? I have no idea. There's so much going on in terms of detail, though. I gotta say, incredibly impressive detail that David writes in. Some of the best, most descriptive lyricism I've seen in a while.
Hands in the air, half eyes wide, half eyes smiling, and a couple others with their heads covered up, too afraid to look. The track slopes down and to the right. Rough guess 2 seconds from the top of the drop.
Down to the
Acceleration
right.
on the
Been used
faces
quite a
of
bit
riders
throughout the
more than
lyrics,
worth
too.
The price tag of the printout, which was also wages for the shanties that these buildings would become. Toppled by the potholes, here they are before they sunk. Like on hold for glottal stops approaching with the sun. For choking on the
The
words
tension
that
of
you
this
said
track,
so
yet
soon,
being so
running from
minimal.
The end of life that no one really figured had begun. All of these photos tucked neatly in a box and hidden in a sock drawer underneath the bed.
But then this pre-chorus is so claustrophobic
Burn the edges of the present that has been
as it
fixed,
descends.
so it's best to leave them dead. Don't bother with it. Live lobotomy. Split the bottle better. Drink the God and leave the past behind for the fire. Don't nobody want these Polaroids. Don't bother with it. Live the lighter side. Split the spliff together. Smoke the God and leave the past behind for the fire. Don't nobody want these Polaroids.
From what I gather, there was like a car crash too. There was a lot going on in that track lyrically. Super dense lyricism. Super, super dense. Like, wow. Also, incredible detail in it all. A real story being told. Would love... I feel like a good music video accompanying this would really paint a vivid picture. That being said, this is definitely going to be one that I have to listen to far more to fully appreciate the storytelling. Because on a first listen, I'm more just blown away by the sheer description of each and every character, action, place, thing. Incredible. Polaroids is mind-boggling, especially how minimal it is, yet there's such a tension with that squeaky, kind of almost percussive-like element to it. Incredible. Here's simple degradation again. Continuing. This one's Plucks 14 to 18 with Bit Panic. This one a minute and 42. Another just instrumental that feels like it's kind of developing the world. Not sure who Bit Panic is, but they're getting a lot of play. So good for them. With only 800 monthly listeners, that's pretty insane. Seems like it's a machine shutting down, perhaps. I feel like throughout this LP, we're getting so many different, not just characters, but sort of like crimes and events going on that really kind of describe this futuristic cyberpunk world. Quite robotic. Let's go into the next track here. Madcap, only a minute and 33. Another short one.
off right there.
Single verse, single outro. Wow.
Traffic crazy, you off the hook. Caught, tell your boy
David.
what's good. They too lazy to pay, got took. Caught, tell your boy what's good. Nails on the steer wheel, steel on the foot. Caught, tell your boy what's good. Fail to appear, they might throw the book. Caught, tell your boy what's good. Read the tea leaves in the breeze.
I like this glitchy repeating mantra.
Tell your boy what's good. What's good? No credits. Who got the judge? Caught, tell your boy what's good. No one said it. The crew wants.
David sounding like
What's good?
an android glitching out.
Don't get it twisted. He ain't getting shit. He about his business. He's a businessman.
I love this glitchy vocal delivery. I've never heard something like this.
Key to business. He's a businessman.
This businessman, perhaps talking on, maybe I'm reaching here, but perhaps talking on the pursuit of financial freedom, turning this businessman into a robot, kind of losing all personality in pursuit of his greed. Here's Mirror Shades Part 2, Cartel Madras, I believe it's pronounced. 4 minutes, this track, which for this LP is a bit of a longer track. Ooh. Like this Plunderphonics.
Mirror shades.
Oh, is this a Plunderphonics track?
Round here you wear your mirror shades. You cool with that?
I will gladly take it. Remind me of Pogo
Round here they wear their mirror shades.
and the Avalanches.
Dance with that? Mirror shades.
Is that type of glasses? I imagine they look like.
Your mirror shades.
I'm cool with that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm that bitch with the blade.
Very
I'm that
Matrix
bitch on the
focused.
stage. I run loops round the page. Round up the dukes from the age. Round up the troops from the
Love
cage.
this.
Grounded in tricks, I'm a mage. Birds from the temples of rage.
Very
Not knowing
nonchalant
which side
delivery.
of the
Very
cage.
cool.
Not knowing how quite to behave. Still blind to the way that we play. Find me with a pack. I was still the colossus. Hooked on my feet but still conscious. Wake up in tears. The dawn is upon us. Wake up with nothing dishonest. These agents are playing. They're novice. Could it be worse? Maybe, but I'm not a.
I don't know who this is, Cartel Madras, but she is very cool and just like nonchalant in her delivery. Really works with this kind of like Matrix focused sort of element.
Profit. I couldn't tell you I'm stranded in orbit. I've got my gun to the rockets.
Also, I love this just
Your mirror shades. You cool with that?
thumping beat
Mirror shades.
mixed with
Round here they wear their
some
mirror
sample
shades.
work.
Prayer to God now. God is not here. He forgot to rock his mirror shades.
Also, David taking a backseat quite heavily on this one, which I actually like. I like that he's sharing the floor with this this feature, who's really just taking
Round
this.
here they wear their
scene.
mirror shades. You cool with that? Mirror shades. Round
Super
here you
moody.
wear your mirror shades.
Very cool.
I want real good juice, not Minute Maid. I want real good juice when the lights dim. I want real bad news when I let you in. I want real big truths when I win.
Really like
Then
bad
shows
bitch
on
energy
1:8:16.
coming from her.
Hung real low when I saw the time. My heart beat real fast when I saw the signs. Blood soaked boots on the Rhine. I say, what if I look so fine when I die? What if I look so fine when I die? What if I look so fine? Yeah, when you lower me from the light, burn big fires for me tonight. All that metal, copper, silver, gold, cash, guns,
Ooh.
bullets, leather, souls. Lower me from the dripping cold, but please make sure I have my mirror shades.
What a banger! What a hypnotic delivery.
You cool with that?
I'm cool with
Fit. Hands on hips to catch your breath now. Fuck this treadmill. You don't need it if you've got mirror shades.
Kind of funny
Round
as
here
well.
they wear their mirror shades.
That Mirror Shades
You cool
sort of
with that?
chorus.
Mirror shades. Round here you wear your mirror
Oh,
shades.
reference to a cyberpunk anthology. Unfamiliar, but definitely very cyberpunk in its tone. Here's Andy called Interlude. Like a distant phone call to like another like planet or realm. Kind of reminded me of Poltergeist, actually. like a horror sci-fi element to this LP. Let's go into Welcome Home Warrior with Aesop Rock, who's quite a popular artist, 804,000 monthly listeners, and I'm never checked out, but I meant to check out his LP, Integrated Tech Solutions, a couple years ago. However, I've always liked his sound from what I've heard in his features, so let's keep it going.
Calling all cyber rat race escape artists to the clearing. Hear ye how the synth wind whispers is endearing and lead you back to a past when everything was really good except the dragons. But that's what the knights are for. Gallantry to fight the war precisely. You can make your mic.
I love that. It's so left field.
Bust out the chainmail. Damn, that looks badass.
Getting quite
the mainsail, come back
fantasy now.
Bag of skins, missions, and motifs that you can go and get. A damsel in distress might show a tit. A man can know.
That bass. Hold on, that bass line.
Motifs that you can go and get. A damsel in distress might show a tit. A man can know his flesh and go and contemplate his fantasies.
Kind of retro finish.
Everything could be so easy. You know part too long, it's been calling you. Just answer the call and all the rest of it will follow.
Love this.
You. Wrap yourself in all of you, and in time will honor all you do.
Kind of optimism.
Welcome home, warrior. Everyone is proud of you. Welcome home, warrior. Everyone is proud of me.
Aesop, come on in.
10-ton tuppy in the red rum. Punk's not dead, but rebel to rebel and bell wrong and out radical. Help me to the breadcrumbs, make it look natural. Came to the nexus of metal, some little
love his very in-your-face sort of delivery.
Back when nature and civilization seemed
just blunt with it.
Optimistic infancy, the middle seat infinite. I learned to smell the flowers through an overhead projector like. Smells like drywall, whisper of black mold, subtle hint of light bulb, sunk into the sofa, blown kisses on a dice roll dice like a flying kick.
What a wild set of lyrics describing the scent of an overhead projector.
Like, smells like drywall, whisper of black mold, subtle hint of light bulb, sunk into the sofa.
How does one come up with even penning that?
Your dedication to shaping the day-to-day to a place that matches the pixel congregation you pray to definitely makes you one of the tribe.
One of the things I just read here, exploration into digital escapism and the allure of virtual worlds, which you get quite heavily. Like I said, Aesop there talking about, using ohms, for example, or even the smell of the projector when he goes in depth about the scent of technology in a sense. Your dedication to shaping the day-to-day to a place that matches the pixel congregation you pray to. Again, alluding to virtual reality perhaps and just our phones technology. Again, I love the heavy focus of sci-fi throughout this LP.
Your dedication
just
to
insane.
The day-to-day to a place
very
that
focused in its themes.
You pray to definitely makes you one of the tribe. There's a roll call. Any questions? Don't be alarmed should your call redirect. You'll be answered in a sec. The customer service is some of the best.
A lot of humor too in that delivery here. Kind of putting yourself on a pedestal despite the technology being the one doing all the work. Maybe a dig at AI. Here's Ask What Happened, the final track.
Build railroad tracks into the class in search of scraps at night. Okay. Punch cards fed into wall-size beautiful computer tubes that light. Okay. Freaking phones want to.
Just want to quickly say, Welcome Home Warrior. If it wasn't obvious, brilliant track. Love the themes. Love the delivery on it. Love the bass lines on it, and also really loved Aesop Rock's, very well penned as always, and kind of on point theme that he delivered. Here's Ask What Happened, continuing.
The possibilities of the tech ignite. Okay. Perfect picture of a blue box in around with a squad talk or type. Okay. Captain Crunch and a whistle. Stop your phone call for you say goodnight. Okay. Bombs dropped on Vietnam in a sense lost, but they still want your fight. Okay. Big afro and a dance floor with a disco and the jeans real tight. Okay. Hack mixer and a turntable plug straight into the street light. Okay. Break beats got break dance.
Anti-government right off the bat, it would seem.
Break anything will make Joes. Don't matter what they try to say. They can take everything. You'll trickle down monopoly money. It's just a game. No. Made a revolution by playing with model trains. So freaking tell them.
Very, very relevant track. Very leftist-leaning track here, kind of against the powers that be, the billionaires that control the monopoly. That is the world at this point.
Free up inside their brains, though they saying, damn kid, all he doing is playing games. Okay, slick as fucking Valdez, hit a rock in the crude, made a coast on the crew to take. Pull some tricks, money shit.
Love how, like,
for the double dip that will fly their way. Fuel exhaust from the lift off, set a switch off.
ominous. this instrumental is. Ambient.
Ain't no peace in the streets, people feeding for release from a new kind of cheap cocaine. Contraband, nigga, YC said a wolf pack full of black boys had to be guilty of rape. But guess who's looking into the system, ripping them to the ground with every beat they make. That's what happened, crunch all the numbers, does it make sense?
Really,
Math ain't mad motherfuckers ain't making
some hard-hitting lines too throughout this.
So history and future belong to the 1%, though. The records in the present got bass to rattle they fence. Okay, trickle down monopoly.
Especially
money is
this.
just a game. No, made a revolution by playing with my. Okay, thumbs up for the bombs drop, the resource running low.
Oh.
Okay, safe harbors that are offshore for the rich. If you got money, you will be okay. Stock markets never stop.
Love this percussion. Does sound very familiar.
Internet entering into homes via phone, changing things you pay for. Virtual sex can be messy, but tissue by the desktop, keep it clean. Okay, underground, they can start to acknowledge sound of glitch in the beats they make. MP3 SD.
Virtual sex can be messy, but tissues by the desktop keep it clean. Okay. Still keeping the humor in check, I see, even in a song that is as politically driven and blunt in its lyrics about race and a lot more than that. I mean, I wasn't gonna get into the I guess one might say rape politics of it all, but very, very disturbed, very kind of gross when you think about what he's talking about, and the kind of sadness of it all that the world kind of lives in. But he keeps the humor in, at least.
ECMAUALAC and wave, getting hard to imagine, expanding a thought when it's not in a breathing space. Ask what happened, crunch all the numbers, does it make sense? No, math ain't mad motherfuckers ain't making rent. So history and future belong to the 1%, though. Records
Trickle down monopoly, by the way.
Trickle down monopoly, money is just a game.
Kind of love that line.
Revolution by playing with model trains, so the sun to go. No more land attacks and they tear up what you imagine. So some dreaming, even if evening is gonna be lasting for ever be upon. They believing that they could master, though they never wanted to look behind the eyes of a hacker. Okay.
Oh. Also, this instrumental, growing, fast pace, ambient even. I love this outro. Oh. Ugh. Incredible. That outro. Absolutely beautiful, ascending, ambient. Love the rise. Highly political track. Maybe one of the most outwardly political tracks, I feel like, on the album. And also, David digs perhaps with that final line, calling for a revolution through the act of hackers, which would certainly fit within the themes of the very cyberpunk, futuristic kind of message of the whole LP, the whole world it develops. Just a great track. Let's talk about the album, like I was saying. Let's talk about the album as a whole. Love the themes, love the world it builds, just love the entire futuristic kind of, world that it develops, because it's so... I can't think of many, not just rap albums, just albums in general, that have this same level of kind of cyberpunk world building to them. The lyrics really add so much depth to the sort of underbelly of this crime world at times, or really just the giving in of your life to virtuality or your avatar and such. Again, further developing the very bleak and dystopian future that has been done in works like Cyberpunk 2077 or Blade Runner, but done so in a music form in an LP of 53 minutes with the same level of, I would say, creativity and vision of those popular works. Incredible is essentially what I'm saying. I actually think this is maybe the most fully realized clipping project, at least in my opinion, right off the bat. Just blew me away. Incredibly well written, great songwriting from Daveed Diggs as always. But even the track, Mirror Shades, I loved how cool and calculated and kind of, I would say, nonchalant, and bad bitch energy that Cartel Madras has. She really takes the floor. Daveed Diggs sharing it, barely even has a part on there, really just does the chorus and I think, refrain and such, whereas she kills it and matches the energy, matches the tone. Same can be said about the track, I believe it was Scams with Tia Namor. Really loved, what she brought to the table. Also a nice kind of throwback, almost 2000s club banger with this cyberpunk edge to it. Bit Panic, not sure who he is or them, but they offer a great kind of world building element as well to this LP. Nothing negative to say, absolutely nothing negative. This is genuinely one of the most impressive rap albums I've heard in a while, and could be contender for album of the year. I would not be surprised if this cracks my top 10. I guess we'll see when we get to the end of the year, but it's quite early to tell. We're only in March. A lot could happen, but this thing is a mammoth and very impressive. Daveed Diggs, you do it again. Well, not just Daveed. Shout out also Jonathan Snipes and William Hudson, who I should have mentioned a lot more throughout this video, but clipping as a whole, a powerful trio, and very groundbreaking, very underrated as well. So, that does it for today's video. So let's end it. If you like the video, please hit like and subscribe to follow along and listening to more albums alongside myself, any future new releases, as well as listening to Pink Floyd and Bjork, their entire discography on the channel I have been covering. So if you're interested in them, go ahead and subscribe for more content. Also, if you're interested in my Patreon, I will link it down in the description down below. Fully unedited videos of every reaction, as well as bonus content for tier 3 and up. So tier 2 will grant you unedited content. Tier 3 and up will grant you bonus content. Go ahead and check it out. It's in the description. It's in the comment. But as always, my name is Randy Joe. I appreciate you watching, and I'm signing off.